Is there no escape from this madhouse?
But it's not like a movie because it's three-dimensional. You can experience it. It's not a flat, it's not sight and sound. It's sight, sound, touch, smell, taste on some levels. When I had the candy in my last party, it was made into flowers on the floor, and I had lollipops in the trees, in these cardboard cutout trees, and you could take a lollipop out of the tree and you could eat it. I mean, it's like a combination Disneyland Willy Wonka world. And I love that. I think that's so great to be able to experience something like that, because people don't do that. When are you ever going to get to experience that? I don't know anyone who would do that for me except myself. And I like doing it, and I think my friends, they really, really like doing it. I mean, experiencing these things. And that's why they help out. I'm the only one who would attempt to do something this insane. How long you've known me? Pretty good.
Yeah, probably, I don't know, 6 or 7 years, I think, at this point.
Okay. How long have I been doing these projects?
Oh, 6 or 7 years at this point. Yeah.
It's pretty funny because, I actually started pretty much when the two of us met. We started with the Alien Head project.
Right.
Worked on that.
And the theme usually is a lot of money, a lot of time, no money back. That's it's just...
Yeah, there's basically no profit coming out of the entire thing. These fun houses are expensive. They consume all of my time. They cause me to not do my schoolwork or to call my friends unless they're helping me on it. I become very narrow-minded because I'm so focused.
I'd say that you're hyper, when you get into these frames of mind, and you oftentimes actually hurt yourself physically in a very severe way, and not notice for 2 or 3 weeks afterwards. But so you get in this frame of mind where I don't think you sleep when you usually when you do these.
No.
Because I guess life is more interesting than being unconscious. So.
See, I think it really started out, this whole desire to do this kind of thing, when I was little and I started playing with Legos. I liked building, the process of taking the Legos and making something with it, a world, because I wasn't just satisfied with the car. I wanted the town that it was in, so I always got the town, like the cowboy village, and I would always rebuild it. I was never satisfied with the way it was because I always wanted to build more and more and more and more and create this environment to be huge. And then I got bored with the toys, and I started moving into building forts, of course, and I did those every summer. And I didn't just build a fort. I mean, I had tree houses that were just immense. Giant tree houses, underground forts. I mean, I did these, it was ridiculous. And from there, I started to move into doing haunted houses because I really liked Halloween. I think it's a really fun holiday. And I like taking advantage of being able to build something, make a haunted house. And then on top of that, you can have a Halloween party and invite people to come to see it. I'm working with clay and plaster and all, cardboard especially, all different kinds of things that you can do. I learned to cut corners and be very effective with simple materials, which I really started experimenting with when I got to my parents' other house, which they're living at now, and I had my first Halloween party that was really decorated elaborately. And that included these cardboard walls. My friends Scott and Pat helped me put this together. We built these walls and we made a chamber, a maze, and you'd go through the maze and then you'd end up in the party in the backyard. And it ended up that we spent all of our time working on this project in the garage and spending less time thinking about the party. So the party wasn't that good, but the front, going into it was great. It was elaborate. It was wonderful.
So basically, this is the top of our little shindig here. You can see, I don't know what that is. That's some garbage bags there or something. This is it's kind of like the making of Thriller, eh? Nice, nice. We're going upside down here. See, I'm sitting on these boards that are real weak. What's that? Oh, that's more garbage bags. This is what we call cinema verite. Let's go over here. This right here is a little board that goes across, and there's like a brick on the other side. And it's real scary looking, and I made that, of course. Is there a gain on this thing?
Scott, don't hog the camera.
Okay, there's no gain. Hey, look, buddy. I've taken college courses.
What? What the hell? Here you see our graveyard vegetables.
Huh? They're spooky, is what they are.
Did you see Chris just pop this sucker right out there?
Oh, God.
So then we used wooden toothpicks.
No, let me ask you a question. How stupid can you be? On a scale of 1 to 7, how stupid are you?
Well, I've spent, let me see, close to $400.
Wait, let me see your pockets for a second. Let me see how much is...
Oh, you might as well not look there.
I don't even have pockets anymore. I don't even have pockets.
They disappeared. They're gone. They're out of here.
I sold my pockets to pay for this thing.
Yeah.
I've whipped out lots of money. Lots of... Yeah, come on. Money. Come on. Here.
Bullshit. It was all in plastic.
The next one I did was a year later, and I did that across the driveway in the carport around the guest house that my parents have. And the place is really small, so I said, well, I'm going to have to build a structure on the outside. My parents couldn't believe this. They couldn't believe it. I had cardboard going all the way around this huge structure, these walls and wood, and it was all... I mean, I basically made an addition to that house. It was ridiculous.
This is the backside of our guest house, which 3 years ago was turned into a haunted house. The entire guest house was surrounded with tunnels and walls and walkways. This whole driveway was full. And there's still some paint up here that is left over from the walls that were not just paper mache, but that it was all painted and finished. That was when he was Beetlejuice. And he had a smoke machine, and there was smoke coming out, and there was a place where brew was being mixed, and there were ghosts and goblins everywhere, and it was a wonderful party. And I was even invited.
And spent a lot of money on that one. About $1,000, because I bought a fog machine too. Because I gotta have a fog machine. And it was too much of a hassle to rent one. So I just went out and bought one. I had all money saved. I had this money saved at the bank for something that I was really going to spend it on. And I wanted that fog machine. And I got it. I went out and bought it. And I was like, oh, God, $750 for that thing. Plus all this cardboard and all this paint. We used Flexstone to paint these rocks in the walls to make it look like castle walls. And that stuff's like $10 a pop. Oh, and that doesn't go far. And so I just ended up, went wild with that one. And it was really elaborate, and again, the party was not too great. And I learned my lesson because the next year I didn't do one. I took a break from that. I waited, and this last year I made another one, which was here in my place here in Del Mar, and I reconstructed the garage upstairs, and it was an Alice in Wonderland party. And it was great. We formatted it after the Disney movie, Alice in Wonderland, the cartoon. So I started out by taking these still framing images from the movie on tape, and then recreating those on these cutouts, and then painting them in and cutting them out and putting them up and making it similar to like a ride at Disneyland, except that you walk through it like a fun house. And the sound was like, we had the sound from the movie. And then I finished that before the party even started, and I said, well, I want to do more. I want to do the rest of the house too, because people are going to be there. So downstairs, I made the Beetlejuice Tijuana dance hall or dance room. It was, so we took Beetlejuice cutouts, did the same thing for the Beetlejuice cartoon, and put them all over the place, and we had the cartoon playing in the room with all these streamers hanging down, this black tarp was taped off, with lights going off. I mean, it looked like Circus, just with a cartoon theme. Upstairs was the Scooby-Doo haunted attic, so we had sheets over everything, and we had cutouts of Scooby-Doo and what's his name? No, not Scrappy, Shaggy. And we were going to do Velma and Fred and all the others, but we couldn't get around to it because there was not enough time. But we put tarp all over the floor. I mean, this thing was so elaborate. We had party dance lights. And I mean, it just was wild, and people did enjoy themselves at this party because I put a lot of effort into thinking about what people would like. However, this time it was an eclectic group of people that came to the party, and so socializing was difficult. And also because the place was so big and spread out, there was no central dance floor, no central bar where you could drink. I mean, everything was kind of spread out. And I kept that set up for 6 months after that because I didn't need to tear it down. It was in my own place. I didn't have to answer to anyone, and I was also kind of overcoming my own feelings that I had gotten with the other haunted houses, the other projects and fun houses and everything that I had done, which was the guilt involved. I felt very guilty because of money. There was no real reason to have these things. It wasn't an art exhibition. It wasn't anything like that. They were just done, and they had a small audience, and it was hard to justify.
I think you probably felt guilty over spending the money, and you were concerned, but it wasn't that you didn't want to do it. It was just after it was over, you really never felt like there was a purpose. You just had a need to do this. You just had a need to create. And I think it's nice that you find out that we never thought you shouldn't be doing it. We always felt that whatever it was that you needed to be doing, you were doing it.
The feeling that I had with these other projects, which was that I felt incredible amounts of guilt by working on these. I couldn't justify the projects to anyone, to myself. The amount of money. The first one I spent $500, the second one I spent $1,000. And I see that money leaving my pocket that I've worked hard for, saved up, borrowed some from my parents, and I see it going, and I am happy with that. But how do I justify that after it's all over? Because I don't get it back. It's not temporary. And the sets are made of cardboard, and they're made of paper mache, and you gotta throw it away because mice will get in there and eat the flour. And so I was kind of trapping myself financially into these things and just saying, well, you know, it's money out the window. I wasn't even gambling because I wasn't going to win anything other than the satisfaction that I was going to get this done. And this last year, I didn't need to justify it because I was doing it for myself completely, and I really enjoyed it 100%. That was one that I would say there's a definite purpose for me having that ability and desire to build this world. This skill came in handy there. And I've done it for some other things too, sets for movies and things that I've done, projects for school. But the biggest ones, the most elaborate, are the parties that I have. And I'll probably have another one. I mean, right now I'm working on my sister's graduation party. It's an old Mexico theme. And so I built these slats to look like, old textured walls and of stucco with ladders and this and that. I mean, it's not as elaborate as some of the other things because, it's not my party, and I kind of know now when to hold back. But it definitely, it's gonna look pretty good, I mean,
This is Old Mexico. This is going to be a backdrop for the party, and I think it's going to be where the dancing is going to take place. And it's going to be a wall, a city wall, and then inside part of it is going to have flowers, and I'm not sure what else, but it's going to look wonderful.
Would you say that the whole process is trying to see something done to, like, I picture something in my mind and I go for that, and then I won't stop until I get that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you definitely, I mean, there is some improvisation as you're working on it, but you basically run out of film, at real crucial moments, like mid-sentence.
Yeah.
Are we okay, or you're out?
We're out.
Okay.